Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. I'm getting an echo. Hmm. Let me fix the echo. I'm sorry. You can probably hear that too. Okay, I think that's it. All right. Okay, good morning. Good morning. Welcome as you're joining my live stream today. I am playing with, woo, I am playing with this Chalkola gouache paint set that they generously sent me just to try it out. Good morning. Hello. Hello. How are you? Be sure and say hello as you drop in. And even if you're watching it on the replay, I hope you enjoy it. I'm just going to play with it for a few minutes. This comes with a lot of stuff. It comes with a little sponge. It comes with all of these brushes. It comes with this palette knife, this palette, which is this really nice, decent palette, and yeah, and a color swatch page, so you can see how nice and matte all the colors are. Yeah, cool. But I'm just going to pick a few out of this set. It's got 36 colors, and you can see they're really bright and vibrant. I'm just going to pick a few out and play with them, and just do a little painting on black paper because I thought that would be really interesting. And I decided to set this aside for now because I prefer to have a sort of bigger space to mix in. And I'm going to use a couple of these brushes and we're just going to try it out. All right, it'll take me about a minute to get set up. Woo. Okay, so you can see you have a lot of paints. It is nice that this includes 4 tubes of white, 2 titanium, and 2 zinc. 2 titanium white, 2 zinc white. I'm just going to take out titanium white. I'm going to take out crimson red. I'm going to take this Naples yellow. And actually, I think looking at my swatches here, I think instead of the Naples yellow, I'll take the mid yellow. And then one of my favorite colors, turquoise blue. And what else? What else? Red, yellow, blue. That's 3. I may add another in a minute, but we'll start with that. We'll start with that. Let me set these aside. This here. No, almost set up. Okay, I just wanted you to be able to see the whole box and everything, so that is why I did it that way. And I have already sectioned off some black watercolor paper. This is Legion, what's it called? Stonehenge Aqua by Legion Paper. And I love it. It is so cool. It is black watercolor paper. And what I'm going to do is start here and just paint what I like to paint, which is I often like to paint pears. So that's a good place to start. And I'm going to put all that, squeeze these out in here. I don't expect to have any left over. I don't think I like, I don't have a lot of experience with gouache, but I don't think that I like very much working with gouache that is dry, that has dried. You can do it, you can re-wet it and use it, I feel like more like watercolor. I just feel like I prefer to just squeeze some from the tube and work that way. And I guess if I have some left over, I will, do something with that. But they do have a black, and a gray. I don't know if I'm going to use that. I'm squeezing out lots of white because, as you saw, this is very, very vibrant color. So, all squeezed out. I've got my water jars. So I'm set up like watercolor, but I think I treat this more like acrylic, but I also being aware that it can be re-wet. Acrylic will be permanent once it dries, and usually a little more glossy than a gouache. And the gouache can be re-wet and easily moved again once it dries. So that's, to me, the main difference between gouache and acrylics, the permanency of it, and the matte-ness of it. Gouache is very matte. So I am going to paint a pair. And I think what I'll do is I'll just start with this. I'm just going to go for the white on the black, and I'm just going to paint the bright side of a pear. So we've got the light side, and then we're gonna have the dark side, and I'm just gonna go for the red for now. I guess I could make this a dark here. Yeah, those colors make a nice dark, and that will go here on this side. This is a big fat pear, and I'm trying to be wiggly and move it around. Right, there we go. Now I'm just gonna play. There we go, and paint in. And let my brush strokes show. That's one thing about gouache. You can really let your brush strokes stand out if you want to. And I'm going to mix into that white as I go. In fact, I need a little more white, I feel like there. So I am doing this nice and thick as if it were acrylic. Now that's just me, and it might not be the exact proper way to do gouache. So keep that in mind. I am new at gouache, but I am having fun trying this out. I'll clean my brush because I want to pick up some of that yellow, and I don't really want to mix in that blue and everything right now. I feel like the yellow is going to be more transparent. And let's just keep put that kind of all over. Now it mixes in with that turquoise and becomes a green, and that's perfecto. And while this is all wet, you can just keep playing with it and moving it around. Let me add a little bit more white in here and more of that Naples yellow. And I am mixing, as you can see, a lot of what I'm doing is mixing on paper. And I'll just go right over that way. Bring in more of that turquoise. And mix some dark. And like I said, I'm mostly I have played with and used watercolor, and I have used acrylics, and not too much on the gouache side. So I'm just playing with it and trying it out, and I'm not going to be perfect, that is for sure. So please understand. I'm just playing. Okay. All right. So that's a pear. It looks like a pear. Now let's bring it out. By first, let's add a shadow. And let's do, we've got our light. And don't forget also, you can really thin these. But of course, the more you thin it, the more it's going to be transparent, right? So there we go. And I'm kind of using it really thick. Get some more of this yellow. I mean, I'm getting interesting colors here. Get a little bit more white. I don't know. I'm just playing. I'm just playing, guys. Just playing. So. Okay, so we're going to play with the contrast now. Light versus dark. So I have light and dark. I want to do dark, light, dark against light, dark against light. So what I want to do then is bring a light color over here. And I can be any light color of these I have on my palette. So let's take this turquoise, add a bunch of white. Oh, look at that. That's pretty. Now, if I want to tone it a little bit, I can by adding in. You can mix any color. You notice I have a red, yellow, blue. Guess what? You can mix any color. You can mix gray. You can mix green. You can mix anything. Like I have a nice gray there. Let's tone it back a little bit more with the turquoise. Here we go. And now I'm just going to paint right around this pear on the dark side. And it's really gonna pop it out, I think. Oh, you guys, this makes me happy. Okay. Kind of thing always makes me happy. I am easily entertained, in case you didn't know that. All right, now I'm just going to add water, and that's going to let that black of the paper show through more as it dries and give us that nice chalky finish that you get. I already have really dark over here, so I don't really want to add to that dark. So that's why I'm just doing it this way. And I do want to, we'll just have a black table. So let's do watered down. Oh, I like it. This is so fun. I want to bring that in here, but I have those nice brush strokes too. Hey guys, we have a pear. I could do like a little bit of scratching in. I don't know why I wanted to do that. A little scratching in. I have a palette knife here. This is already dry. This is starting to dry. I'll just add in a little bit more. That will make that lot of white mixed in there. I switched brushes and get some clean water. Okay. I think I want to add a little bit of yellow to this background over here. Let's just punch in some color. Now I'm using this over what is there, and so it is going to, you know, it's going to, what do you call it? I can't think of what you call it right now because I'm painting and words are not working. Activate, that's the word. I like this actually going on in the palette here. So using a smaller brush, adding in more, and then also add in some more water. That's pretty fun. That is pretty fun. Now we've got our dark shadow. The table is actually darker, so I think I'll bring in a color for the table. How about that? I'm gonna bring in a color for the table. Good morning. Hello. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm playing with some Chalkola gouache and having some fun. Let's just take this turquoise, a little yellow, because I like that turquoisey color there. It's nice. And we'll just paint right around. There you go. Now we can see our shadow. The gouache is already drying in my palette, but maybe I should have misted it first. I don't know. In any case, we got a shadow there. And we have a pear. I think that's a pretty fun pear. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. And just because I want to keep playing, let's see, how long have we been on? 15 minutes. Should I keep going? I kind of want to keep playing, so I'm just going to turn this around. And I really love the matte. Like, they really dry so matte. And these aren't completely dry yet, but I just enjoy that. It's a fun pair, I think, too. Just turning this around and I can paint here, right? What do I want to do? I think for this side, let's just play a little. Let me spritz my palette here. You see they activate really well. So let's just paint some stripes in here. It's kind of a watery paint there. I was inspired by a person who's painting vases, and maybe I'll make a video about that, of stripes. Striped vases, and it was so cool. It's kind of fun. This is fun. So now I'm using it more like a watercolor here. And then, you know, more like a gouache in some areas. So the more water I add to it, the more watercolory it gets. This is kind of somewhere in between. Now, also the thing about gouache is it is opaque, generally opaque compared to watercolor, which is mostly transparent. A nice neutral green there. Let me add a little bit of this red to it, make it even more neutral. You know, you get grays when you do red, yellow, blue. And that's the palette I had, red, yellow, blue. Not really liking that color, but it is going to dry darker, so let's just see what happens. And just for fun, I'm just throwing in some thicker color, thicker pigment here and there. I don't have any of this anywhere, do I? Just put some in there. I may get some weird colors here because I'm doing weird stuff, but you know, just bear with me. It's just experiment. That's better. Ooh, that's pretty. Let me add even more white. Mixing on the paper. Get a little more yellow. Gonna make a mess. What do you think? Interesting? Thumbs up? What you think? Okay, I'm gonna do one more thing. And you guys may not like that I'm doing this, but I'm going to splatter on here. I actually like that, and I kind of want to leave it and see what happens. That's real. I can see the white there showing that in that splatter, so I like it. Okay, I'm done. I'm done doing my stripey business. You can see I stay away from my little watercolors that I already had in this palette. So you can see with three colors, you can get the neutrals and some really nice, pretty colors. This is a couple of different ways to use the gouache. This is more blended. This is more brush strokes. I can flip this around and take the tape off, which is always fun. And actually, if you're, I need to design if you're like a pattern maker, where you design a collection of things to go together, these two things will go together really well. They have all the same colors in them. They're different, but they're the same. So anyway, yeah, I see one spot. I just want to do this. I feel like that color didn't carry over enough. And that. And I probably should not have even touched it. Okay. But you know what else I didn't do is I didn't sign, but I'll sign them later. I'll sign them later. Okay, I'm gonna take off this tape. Let's just see how they look with no tape because that's often so magical. Magic, it's magic. I try to take this pretty straight. Do you guys love taking the tape off? You should leave a comment. What's your favorite part of the painting process? Is it taking the tape off? Yes, it could be. It could be. Let me take off the bottom. It might be mine. I'm not sure. I love painting. I'm using washi tape and it did take off some of the texture of the paper, but that's okay in this case. Oh, I didn't press it down all the way there. I can probably remove that. I can lift it. One more piece of tape. Here we go. So it took me about 10 minutes. I had a little bit of setup. We've been here 20 minutes. I had a little bit of setup. Took about 10 to 12 minutes to paint this pair. This took even less than that, and all my tipping caused this run. I'm not very happy about that, actually. I liked how it looked before I did the tipping. That's okay. That's okay. Actually, I think now's a good time maybe to lift a little. Let me grab a tissue. I can just lift up here. I want to lift a little. I mean, that's pretty fun, actually. Look at that. I don't want to lift them all, but just some. Sort of like strategic ones. So I didn't lift all of the dots, but I lift some of them. That's pretty fun. Okay, so happy Friday, fun day. It has been fun playing with these Chalkola paints. And if you get a chance, try them out. Try their gouache. This is Chalkola gouache, and it works great on black paper. I love black paper. I don't know, I just love it. And this gouache works great on black paper. You can see how opaque it can be so that the black doesn't show through unless you want it to. Like here, look at this, just perfect edge there. It's fantastic. Okay, so anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.